Mother Nature, we need to have a talk with you. Yeah.
Been brutal lately, right?
Yeah.
All right, that's going to do it for this edition of Good Day Chicago. Stay right here. Chicago Now starts next.
Chicago Now.
Hey.
Hey, can we talk about my coffee?
Why would we not?
That's what I'm saying.
What's your update?
You know what? All right.
What's your update,
Okay, so
Caitlin?
really, because I'm reaching out to you folks, maybe you could help me out. Send me a message. Oh, looks like we're starting again.
Can we
All
talk
right,
about
we're
my
back.
coffee?
I need help. I need help because New Year, you know, you try to save money, okay? We've talked in the past about my caffeine addiction, and every day I need my little fix to get my second shift done. Well, I'm trying to save money on these iced coffee runs, so I purchased like a container of cold brew coffee from the grocery store. I think there's a couple different brands. There is like a Starbucks one. There's like a STOK. I don't even know how to pronounce it. That's the one I'm trying right now.
Okay.
So I bought that, you guys, brought it to work with some creamer, and I'm trying to like use that instead, but I feel like it's just not hitting.
It's the caffeine or the taste or what? What's not hitting
The
for you?
caffeine. I could feel it with like my Dunkin' iced coffees, or even like a Starbucks latte. Like I feel like that really jazzes me up through the rest of the day. But this, you know, the grocery store pre-made iced coffee is not doing it. So what am I doing wrong?
Does it have the same caffeine content?
I didn't look that much.
Because I'm wondering if this is a reverse placebo effect. A reverse placebo where it's like, well, it's not fresh, it's not ordered, I didn't pay $7 for it, so therefore
it's not as good.
Yeah.
Maybe. You might
know?
be right. Yeah, perhaps. But I'm just curious what other people do. Like, I don't know, especially at work. I mean, I guess you drink like the break room coffee. Because I don't want to be spending that kind of money on the coffee.
No, you'll save a lot of money by
I've thought of so many
downgrading.
different things. Like I got a Keurig once. I feel like that's not strong enough. Maybe I make my coffee at home very strong, but I already drink it by the time my morning's over. So I don't know.
When does your first round of caffeine start wearing off? Like right around now?
Okay, so I'm starting. No, I feel fine right now, but like it's really for like to get me through the afternoon. So I really, you know, after about
That car
11,
ride home can't be easy.
The car ride home, folks.
Yeah.
If you are listening and maybe you work in Chicago, but you have quite a commute, you live in Naperville or something, you know what I'm saying. In the afternoon, you get that sun beating through the windows. You're toasty, comfortable, driving, cruising.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about. And then I get home and it's like, bam, baby, bam.
Oh. Right away?
Kids, bam, you know what I mean?
If anyone has any advice for Caitlin Cody,
I know the Alani news are popular these days, especially with the mama crowd. I've done that too. Energy drinks don't hit like coffee do.
No.
Anyways.
We have some Reddit stories to get to before we kind of start in our segments.
Yeah.
The Chicago subreddit, has been kind of active of late with memes about the size, the geographic footprint of our fair city. Okay, there have been some infographics. You might recognize some of these. You know, when you're trying to like put things into context, like the state of Texas. How many times does the state of Texas go into France or Spain? All right, so here we go. This is an interesting one, and I actually have a hard time believing that it's accurate. The entire cities of Amsterdam, red, Paris, blue, and Barcelona, purple, can fit inside Chicago. Hold on, Caitlin, to me, I can't.
Paris is blue.
Wait, Amsterdam's on top then?
Yes.
The blue to me looks like purple, and Barcelona looks like pink. Am I colorblind?
Hold on, wait, I have no idea. I think the darker purplish is the blue.
How is Amsterdam's footprint bigger than Paris's? That's my first question.
Okay, wait. No, maybe the purple. So the purple's the bottom. Middle is blue.
Yeah.
Okay, I believe this. You don't believe this?
I would just have to do some of my own research. I thought Paris was a massive city, like on par with London.
Well, compared to the state of, or the.
Oh yeah, France is massive. Okay,
No,
well we
it's
can
small.
dive in, but here's what Reddit's doing, which you gotta love. So people are basically saying Chicago is so huge that they've made memes claiming other celestial objects can fit into. Oh yeah, there we go. There's California. There we go. There's the Andromeda Galaxy,
It's clearly Galaxy.
which stretches all the way from South Shore up to Lincoln Park. And there is the planet of Uranus. That's how I'm going to pronounce it.
Uranus.
Because we're going to be speaking about bidets in a little bit.
Yeah.
So this is the kind of this is the level of humor that's taken over the Chicago subreddit. So what else can we fit inside Chicago? Speaking of fitting inside, all right, the pierogi bean. We want to show you something else visual. Here it is. Okay, we all know the bean. Mm-hmm. Bears superfan made the bean into a pierogi.
I see it.
Yeah.
Is that the
Oh, yes. Okay.
snow on top or something?
Right. It's that the crust, the crinkled crust.
Of a pierogi, delish. Yeah, so we're talking about the comments. We're discussing what is the most Chicago filling, which is funny because, you know, we were talking about doing like a challenge, a drink challenge, and I think maybe all of these would be appropriate as like a taste test through a
Yeah.
straw. So
what do we fill that Chicago pierogi with?
Jardinera and mustard.
Oh,
Disgusting.
man.
Disgusting.
I love me some jardinera.
Through a straw.
Now that.
That's a little bit much. Okay, Plockman's mustard. What is this?
I'm not familiar with Plockman's mustard.
Is it a
Mustard that looks like a barrel. The yellow
Oh yeah, the barrel.
The barrel mustard. Solid mustard choice.
That rings a bell.
Malort.
Malort.
Of course.
You know I'm a huge fan of Malort.
Okay, one person said deep dish sausage pizza.
The Malort filling reminds me of an anecdote. This happened to me as a child, and it became a core memory for me. I used to love Whoppers. You know, those little Whopper
Yeah.
melted milk
malt.
balls. I was at my
Malt
aunt
balls.
and uncle's house. They had hosted a holiday party one year, and I grabbed what I thought was a Whopper.
Okay.
Do you know what it was?
What?
A rum ball. There was rum inside of the chocolate.
Never in
And
my life.
It was awful.
Did you spit it out?
Yes. And I think I stayed away from Whoppers after that too, just out of fear.
Are they
But that would be the reaction a lot of people would have if Malort was on the inside of a pierogi.
Can I make a note too because of the deep dish sausage pizza option? Yesterday we had Paws on, and they were doing this event or this fundraiser where
Yeah,
they
slice to know ya.
slice to know ya. Look it up because you get this special pizza, and then you get a donation match of I think they said $80
Yeah,
per
it's
pizza.
really good.
I had a slice of that pizza yesterday after the show. We should have tried it on air because when I tell you, it was delectable.
Was it good?
It was.
There was jardinera on that.
Yeah, it was a Chicago.
do
pizza.
like it.
It was so good, and it was cheesy. My mouth is watering just
gosh.
thinking about it. So order that pizza.
I was going to go upstairs to do a little treadmill after it, so I didn't.
I know you didn't.
I wanted to.
But it was like.
It's at Peace Pizza.
Yeah.
Which is right over there in Wicker Park. Fantastic place. You order one of these specialty pizzas, and like Caitlin mentioned, you will get a big match. And some very generous donors said for every specialty pizza that is ordered, I will match and send $70 over to the friendly folks at Paws. But this pizza had Polish sausage on it, sliced real thin, jardinera, grilled onions. What else?
It must have had.
Oh, and then the chopped up sport pepper. Chopped up sport pepper. Maybe it wasn't jardinera. Maybe it was just the chopped up
It had
sport
some,
pepper,
like,
which is
Parmesan
so
on
good.
Top, and it was so tasty. It was so tasty.
that's
So I wonder if you
great.
just call them and you say you want the Paws pizza, the Paws Chicago pizza. They'll know what you're talking about, but
Mm-hmm.
highly recommend. Okay, another person said to fill up the bean, parking tickets.
Oh, there you go. That's very Chicago.
Yeah. If you guys missed, do you want to tell the story about your parking ticket that you got when you were sleeping in your car?
Oh my gosh.
Because people probably forgot.
We
didn't
put
they?
we put the screenshot of it on the air because if you get a parking ticket, you get sometimes you don't find out until you get the mailing. The mailing later, you open it up, City of Chicago. So this was right before my haircut. I was up on North Clark. Oh my gosh. This is so embarrassing. So yeah, so we were talking about how tired we get after the shift. So I had
Yeah.
reclined the seat. I was waiting for my haircut appointment to start. I could see my barber inside finishing up his previous client, so I crashed. Didn't pay the meter because I'm like, I'm going to pay it right before I go in.
Yeah.
Screenshot, that I open up in the mail. Insult to injury. Insult to injury. Not only am I getting fined, but like literally whoever the meter person was is like, I'm going to just humiliate this guy.
Yeah.
Took a picture of me. I have these sunglasses on and I'm just like back. There's probably drool.
Oh. Is there anything creepier
Not my
than
finest
knowing
moment.
someone was looking at you and
Just
taking pictures
the
of you
whole
when you were
thing was
sleeping?
like-
That's pretty invasive.
It makes me mad on a few different levels.
I don't like that.
You know what I mean? Because it's just like,
Creepy.
come on, can you please be a you know what I mean? Like
Knock
it's
on the
really
window or
like,
something.
yeah, knock on the window, be like, hey, buddy.
Don't
wake
take
up.
a picture and look at me when I'm sleeping. This is why I can't sleep in public places. People who can sleep on like the train and stuff, how do you do it? My husband could do it. We used to take the South Shoreline train in. He's like, oh, I would just take a nap the whole way in. I'm
Yeah.
like, how? Somebody is like, you don't know these people that are around you. You got to be aware of your surroundings. But
I get that.
napping in the car and someone's taking pictures of your face? No, thank you.
No bueno. It was no bueno.
Yeah.
Hey, guess what? My
What?
beloved White Sox, they may not be the best team in Major League Baseball, but there's a chance, Caitlin, that they are going to start setting the bar when it comes to
The bathroom facilities.
hygiene.
Yes.
Hygiene.
Yeah.
We're talking about I don't know, how do I even phrase this? Everyone know what a bidet is?
The
out
bottom
there?
cleaners.
The bottom cleaners. There you go. You clean your tush.
Yeah.
That'll work.
Sure.
Tush.
Yeah.
All right,
Like
so
the tush push.
here we go. This is a tweet by a correspondent for MLB.com, Scott Merkin. Writes, the White Sox have a new addition for their Rate Field home clubhouse, thanks in part to an important new addition to their Rate Field home. Wait, did I read that right? Is there an echo in here? New addition to the team, I think is what he meant to say. The new addition is Munetaka Murakami, who recommended the addition of a bidet. A bidet.
Uh-huh.
Caitlin, would it be too personal if I asked you if you have ever used a bidet?
Have I used one? I think I haven't when I was in Europe before. But
I
here's
saw
my
them in Europe,
comment.
but I was kind of scared to use it.
It wasn't like a public one. This is my issue. Is if it's a public bidet. I don't know the ins and outs, okay? Our producer has a bidet at her house, and we discussed this in quite some detail. From what I understand, it cleans itself, but my whole issue
It's
is
self-cleaning.
if you have a bidet at your house, like that's one thing, but like a public bidet, that's a lot of germs happening, I feel like, in the toilet.
But isn't it fresh water that's cycling through? Just like, I mean, couldn't you make that argument with
water
a sink?
fountain.
Yeah, it's a water fountain that goes like the other direction. Is that right?
Well, I'm just thinking of like a water fountain. Even that grosses me out.
Oh,
now,
it
as an adult.
does.
When I was a kid, I would drink from the water fountain, put my mouth directly
man, yeah,
on
no,
the
you can't do
spout.
that.
That's what I'm saying.
But
it's
you
like
survived.
germs are on
Look,
the
you're
thing.
here to
Yes,
tell the tale.
sure.
You probably built up your immune system with that. But no, I've always been confused by the bidet because the people who have them absolutely swear by them.
Uh-huh.
But I do have questions, like how do you dry off afterward? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
How do you dry off afterwards? I've got that question too. Maybe you got to use
like an
toilet
air
paper
dryer?
still.
Yeah.
Um,
Some of them have dryers. Okay.
I was saying for little kids, a bidet would be, oh yes, fantastic, because we have to keep like wipes in the bathroom. You will be wiping butts way longer than you think you would when you have kids. A bidet would be fabulous. But again, to my point, in your house, I don't know how I feel about.
You won't do the public.
I don't.
Hey, this is the
think-
clubhouse, the White Sox clubhouse.
Yeah. Well, how do you feel about it?
I
You
would
want to
try
participate
anything.
in
Yeah.
a bidet downstairs in our
Ooh.
station? Would you?
Ooh.
This is what I'm saying. It's bad enough that we all have to share a toilet, let alone a
Yeah.
cleaning mechanism.
Hey, this is a good Insta poll. Would you use a communal bidet at your place of business?
There's no way. That's why this is confusing to me.
Hey, I like what the Sox are doing. They're blazing a trail. They're blazing a trail.
They're doing something.
Here's something else interesting. Only in Chicago,
Yeah.
McDonald's. I don't know if this is a Valentine's Day thing. Caviar at McDonald's.
Yeah, it's a Valentine's Day thing. Okay, here we go. The city of Chicago has a
Look at
special
that,
gift.
Mick Caviar.
What? So they're dropping it online only for people in Chicago on February 10th at 10 a.m. for free. They've teamed up with Paramount Caviar to create the kit, which includes a 1-ounce tin of McNugget caviar. What does that mean? McNugget caviar. $25 arch card for plenty of chicken nuggets, plus creme fraiche, and a mother of pearl caviar spoon to top it all off. What makes this pairing so iconic? McDonald's says the crispy golden goodness of the McNuggets and the salty savory black pearls of Paramount's, oh boy, berry sturgeon
caviar
make for a true match made in heaven for the special occasion.
I would try that.
So it's McNuggets with the caviar.
Yeah, you top the McNugget instead of dipping it in BBQ or ketchup or honey mustard. You dip it in the Paramount berry sturgeon caviar.
So this is at McNuggetCaviar.com and not for purchase in McDonald's restaurants. My kids love McDonald's.
That's interesting. So wait, we go, but it's a Chicago exclusive. So February 10th, 10 a.m.
Which is, what's
they're
the
dropping
today?
online
6 days from now.
for only people in Chicago. That's
So next
interesting.
Monday, is that the 10th?
Yeah.
I've never had caviar before.
I have not either.
Really?
Never. No.
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't attend many fancy parties.
Should we purchase the
Let's
McNugget
do
caviar
this.
and test it on air?
I think that would be a great.
Yes.
Because listen, we are going on at 10 a.m. We'll be on the air 10 a.m. February 10th, right when we go on air.
So
Maybe we
we'd
could
have to like make a
push
special
click.
trip to like go get the.
Yeah.
How do you get it? I'm still confused. So wait, you have to go to their website,
McNuggetCaviar.com.
purchase it there, but how do you get the nuggets? Because those have to be fresh and warm, right? Maybe you just get the caviar online and you have to get the McNuggets.
Maybe there's a
separate.
You know what? Maybe you order it and there's a
Oh, she
pickup
said
spot.
Yes. I don't know if I want to just take a spoon of this stuff.
I would totally do it. If we can do that candy taste test that we did, Caitlin.
Yeah, we could do.
You can do anything, especially because I've heard caviar is salty, and I will never forget the look on your face.
Oh, the salt.
When
The
you
salt,
ate that green one.
The crusty salt
started
on
crying.
black licorice. That was horrendous.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, I would try it. So maybe we could do that. McNuggetCaviar.com if you want to get a special Valentine's gift for your sweetie. Speaking of sweetie, what are you guys gonna do for Valentine's Day?
We don't have plans yet, meaning I don't have plans yet, and I kind of realized Valentine's Day, it just stresses me out.
Really?
I mean, it's always fun when it comes around and I've got a plan, but the whole thing stresses me out, and I know that stinks, and I am a curmudgeon, and I need to do better and get excited, but it's one of those things where it always creeps up on me.
Valentine's.
You could?
We literally don't even acknowledge it.
That's nice.
We don't even, and when I tell you I don't care, I really don't care. Like, I'm not one of those girls that's...
Yeah, I don't want flowers, but you really want flowers.
No. No thanks. We're good. Maybe Valentine's Day is for, like, the young dating couple.
I mean, it's a nice excuse to go on a nice date, but anymore, you know, I don't need to explain to you the cost of childcare. It's like you're already like $125 to leave the house.
I mean, in this economy, everything.
Maybe it's McNuggets and caviar this year. What's that?
Yeah, it's $100 anytime you leave the house, whether you have kids or not have kids. And plus, going out on Valentine's Day, it's like when you buy for a wedding and everything is just inflated and super expensive.
It's always cold and.
Why are we? It's a Hallmark holiday, correct? Like, why are we? It's just a reason to spend money. I would do it for my babies. I'll get them a little something.
Yeah.
A little something, something. Maybe some heart chocolates or something. But no, don't get too stressed.
Thank you, Caitlin. I always get like. Yeah, just kind of like, oh no, I gotta plan something.
Does Maggie do something for you? Or is this just like a one-way, like it's the guy doing something for the girl?
I don't know if I have selective memory. I feel like it's mostly me that makes the plan.
Sure.
But I don't think she's obsessed by any means with it. Like, you have to do this or that. Like, I think it's self-imposed.
Maybe you guys could have a combo and say, hey, can we just pretend like Valentine's Day doesn't
exist?
See how that goes over.
What day is it on this year for the 14th?
Well, next Monday is the 10th, right?
Oh, yeah, so it's... Oh, okay,
Saturday.
No excuses.
Ooh, that's a
gentleman, no
solid
excuses.
day.
Okay, that'll be...
Valentine's Day.
Maybe we've combined forces with another couple or something. Make it.
That's fun.
That'd be fun.
And just have your kids be there. Do it in the living room.
Why not?
Have some dinner. Make some, pop some
Okay,
wine.
we are going to take a quick break, but a new documentary is going to premiere next week on PBS, and it follows a group of librarians as they work together to see how book restriction policies are shaping library collections in schools throughout the country. And so we're going to be joined by a librarian, Julie Miller, who was outspoken on this issue, and the director of the film, Kim Snyder, when we come back after this.
injured.
It is just about 10:22. Thanks for joining us on Chicago Now. I hope you're having a great time watching us. We're having fun chit-chatting with y'all. Okay, so we're going to be talking about a new documentary film that is premiering next week on PBS following a group of librarians as they work together to see how book restriction policies are shaping library collections. You'll be taken across the country as people fight against censorship. And we're learning more about that this morning with librarian Julie Miller and director Kim Snyder. Thanks for joining us this morning, ladies.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Okay, so Kim, let's start with you. What was the moment that you realized this needed to be a documentary?
It was in the fall of 21 in Texas when I became aware of something called the Krauss list, which was a list of 850 books that a state representative was asking librarians to review and remove from their shelves. And they were largely attacking books with LGBTQ plus characters, authors of race, books with themes of race and sex education. And there was a group of librarians that were beginning to speak out in Texas. And I soon realized that this was actually something that was not just a Texas story, and started to traverse the country, and over 4 years have told an odyssey of a story with people like Julie in Florida and New Jersey and beyond about the siege on our librarians and our freedom to read.
And what was this Krauss list? What was the connective tissue? You said it raised issues perhaps with LGBTQ. Were there other themes that ran throughout this list of more than 800 books?
There were also books like The History of Roe v. Wade, books about activism, indigenous peoples. So many marginalized voices were targeted on that list, and some that didn't make sense at all, that became, as it spread and became a template across the country. There were just so many books that were really shocking that librarians were being asked to remove from their shelves.
Okay, so Julie, as a librarian, how have you seen book bans affect library visitors? Because you had a personal experience with this too.
Yeah, so I was a high school librarian in a small town in North Florida, had been there for several years. And also in the fall of 2021 is when we had our first book challenge. And, you know, at first we hadn't seen a book challenge. There had not been a book challenge in over 20 years. So it was kind of like, oh, well, that's kind of quaint. If somebody upset about a book. And we had no idea what was coming, because this all kind of, it's turned out that it's been a very much organized, insidious operation that is going in not just, you know, small towns or places in the South, but all over the country, where we're seeing the same playbook being used over and over again. And in my case, you know, it ended up where we have one person moving to the community in order to challenge books, who's been extremely successful in challenging over 1,000 books over the last 4 years, and about half of those being removed from shelves by the district or the school board. And it affected me personally, because I ended up losing my position as a librarian in the county because I kept trying to speak out against it, and trying to, and simply asking questions when they were giving us directives like, remove these 41 books from your shelves. And I'm asking, could you give us a reason why these books are being removed? And in the end, I think I was just too much trouble. And so it ended up where I was in trouble. But I think that it's important that we stand up for this. I think that the freedom to access information and the freedom to read are fundamental human or American rights, and that censorship is un-American. So I think that wherever you are, we need to be working together to fight back against this.
Julie, what consequences, you said you got in trouble. What consequences did you face for speaking out?
Different things at first, you know, warnings from district personnel, an angry call from the superintendent because students went to speak at a school board meeting about the possibility of losing access to their research databases, which advanced high school students definitely need access to those, and that was being threatened at the time. Eventually, I was removed from my position and reassigned to a classroom position in a field I'd never taught before. So that was kind of their quiet firing of me. And thankfully, I've landed in a library position outside of the county, but it absolutely wrecked my career. As far as what I feel like is my purpose. Like, I really enjoyed and felt tremendous value in being a high school librarian, being a safe adult for those teens who just were looking for a place where they could feel welcome no matter who they are. If they're good at school, if they're not, if they're good at sports, if they're not, if they're cool, if they're not. So the library is kind of a safe place, and we're seeing school libraries disappear across the nation.
Kim, within that list of books that you saw that were banned, were there any that you flagged as appropriate to ban, maybe based on the age group of kids that the books were being given to?
Personally, no, but you know, I think the message here is to defer to librarians who are schooled, mostly master's degrees, in knowing what is age appropriate. I think some of the confusion comes in not understanding that a lot of these books are on high school shelves. They're not. And as we continue to say, there is no pornography in the school libraries in any loose definition of how you would define obscenity or pornography. So no, I did not. I certainly have not read every book on that list, but I defer to the expertise of our librarians who, you know, up until this time in 21 really received no challenges or very few. That people need to understand how unprecedented this has been in the last several years and what underlies it, which is a much more organized, well-funded, and troubling movement to attack our freedom to information.
And I'm guessing that the new documentary will kind of shine a light on that agenda that you spoke of. Take us through a little, give us a little teaser about kind of what direction the film takes with regard to that coordinated effort as you describe it.
Well, we expose certain organized Moms for Liberty, organized groups across the country who weaponize school boards as a place where people go and take things completely out of context. They'll come in with, two lines from a book like Beloved, Toni Morrison, just a giant in our literary history, and read lines that personally I find particularly offensive when things about sexual assault, which may be challenging and difficult, but these are for high schoolers. And as we always say, if you don't want your kids to read it, there's always been parental rights. There's a process for this. This is what has become a blatant infringement on First Amendment rights of all parents and their parental rights to have their kids have access. So these school boards have become a weaponized place to put forth misinformation and attack on our freedom to read.
Kim, I would like to follow up a question about that. You mentioned parental rights to give their kids the option to read these books, but what would you say to the parents who want to keep those books away from their kids as an option of maybe going to the public library instead?
I would say what one of our librarians, Amanda, says: monitor the books that your kids read. If you don't want them to read them, no one's forcing you to take them out. The job of these professionals is to keep a thriving library that is representational of an entire community. You don't get to dictate what everybody else has the rights of their kids and what they have access to read. So that's what I would say to those, and to take cue from a character in our film, Courtney Gore, who learns that she's been misled, that there is no there is no pornography in the school libraries. So do the research and find out what we're actually, talking about here. I can only assume that there are many, many Courtney Gores, and she was brave enough to speak out and say, I did the research. She was one of those who was a proponent of taking the books off the shelves, and she completely shifted her position. So that's what I would say to, and to trust our trained professionals who have been trained to respect the wishes of parental rights and have a protocol for doing that.
I'm wondering if we can touch on a couple examples that in your minds were particularly egregious in being included on this list of 800 plus books. Maybe some that we've heard of. Were there some, can you maybe single out a few examples of books where you saw this on the list and thought, oh my gosh, they want to ban that one?
Sure. I mean, of course, there are some of the classics like Slaughterhouse-Five, Catch-22, as Kim mentioned, Toni Morrison books, The Color Purple. But then there's also things like picture books. There's a picture book about a crayon who is red and but feels blue, and people are trying to make it as though it's about being transgender, when it's literally a picture book about a crayon who feels like, who just feels like they aren't expressing who they really feel like they are inside. And it doesn't say a thing about gender at all. It's really just about being true to yourself. In my county, we saw a challenge for Arthur's birthday, the Arthur the Aardvark book from like the 80s, where the problem was that, the problem, quote unquote, was that there's a bottle shown in one of the pictures that says "spin the bottle" on the side of it, and the complainant claimed that this was promoting sexual activity for elementary school children.
Yeah.
And the
Seems
Diary
like a
of Anne
stretch.
Frank. Diary of Anne Frank is on that list.
Yeah.
The graphic adaptation.
The graphic novel version of Diary of Anne Frank. And what was the rationale behind that? Because that was pretty much, I feel like that was standard reading when I was going through high school.
That's a moment Julie has in our film.
Yeah. Essentially, the complaint there was nudity, because there's a scene where they show Anne walking through like a courtyard that has like Grecian statues of women. Because she's a young woman, she's blossoming into an adult, and she's looking at these women's bodies, and thinking about her own body and what it's going to be like. So we're literally talking about drawings of statues.
And Mouse.
Oh, Mouse, the graphic novel. Yes, yes.
Naked mice in a concentration camp.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, this is going to be a fascinating documentary. We are out of time, but Kim, where can folks check it out? How do they follow the story of librarians like Julie Miller?
PBS Independent Lens, February 9th. We're so excited to bring it to American audiences through their YouTube channel. You can also check us out and the impact we're doing with the film at thelibrariansfilm.com.
Okay, thank you both so much, and we look forward to seeing the program. Appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Caitlin, are you at the point where your kids are
Library books?
they're checking things out?
Sometimes, but she can't really read.
Yeah.
She's trying to read. Okay, she can kind of like. What about you? You are.
Yeah, there's a it's elementary school, so it's not quite in that
The high school
controversy zone. Yeah, the zone, because I think it's pretty it's pretty benign, the stuff, but I do wonder. It seems so individual, book by book, but hearing like Diary of Anne, I guess there's just, this is a hot button issue, and I'm curious to see what is on, that master list, because you mentioned it kind of started at 800, that Krauss list, and now it's down. But there's still about 500 books that have been banned.
I was wondering if she could point out a couple that she was like, okay, maybe.
Yeah, they have a case there, I don't want to.
Yeah.
And then I'm also, and this is, reason to check out the documentary, is what exactly parental involvement does entail. Where it's like, can you alert the school district, like, hey, my child is not allowed to check out books that are rated a certain way,
Yeah.
Like if there's a way to categorize them in the same way that movies are, with like an R rating, an NC-17 rating.
Because I did see, I was trying to look at the list. I saw The Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would be, is that show rated?
It's pretty intense.
Mature, maybe? Graphic?
It's pretty graphic.
So as a parent, I could see a couple of those books that are a little bit, a freshman reading The Handmaid's Tale would be. But again, we don't have kids at that age group. We don't have experience with high school or the library, so we can't really speak to exactly how involved you could be. But that'll be definitely an interesting.
It's an interesting watch. The Librarians comes out February 9th. All right, we are going to break right now. When we come back, the sourdough secret, it is out. Okay, the secret is out. This is a local person named Macy. She got her start doing sourdough with a post on the app Nextdoor, and this is just exploded. So we're going to be speaking with Macy Merlack when we come back after this. Stay with us, everybody.
High drama here, folks.
Welcome back, 1041. Remember when we were all on lockdown for COVID and we all got into cooking? One of the main things that everyone was cooking, or baking I should say, is sourdough.
Yeah, bread was a huge, I remember everyone referred to it as like the, oh yeah, we're in the bake your homemade bread phase of the lockdown right now. Remember that?
And sourdough's special because to make sourdough, you have to have a sourdough starter.
Yeah, that's right.
So we're talking this morning to Macy Merlack, who got her start from a post on Nextdoor, and now she's running a successful baking business.
Wow.
Good morning to you, Macy. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
Okay, so let's talk about your sourdough journey, first of all, before we get into
your sourdough journey. We're all sharing our sourdough journey.
When did you start?
Yeah, so I did get started like so many people in the pandemic during COVID. I learned how to bake sourdough and just fell in love with it. In 2023, my New Year's resolution was that I wanted to try to bake my family's bread for an entire year. I have 2 daughters and a precious husband. And I was like, I'm just going to dive in and try for a whole year not to buy any bread at the store. And that led from one thing to another. And I fell more in love with bread as I continued to bake it. And I thought to myself, I wonder if a few people on my street would be interested in buying a loaf of bread from me. And it spiraled from there.
Whoa.
Oh, so keep going here. So you shared your interest in this, and we're looking at some video. These are so well done, by the way. But what response initially did you get from your neighbors here?
Yeah, so I posted on the Nextdoor app first. I really wanted to try to get as local as possible. I loved the idea of the community along with baking bread for people. And so I posted. I thought that maybe, 5 or 6 people would want to buy a loaf of bread, some pocket cash for me. And as soon as I hit send on that post, I was bombarded with orders and was completely overwhelmed. My husband always likes to joke and says that I'm a professional at monetizing my hobbies. And he was like, what are you doing? Are you starting a business? And I was like, no, I'm not, as I'm like making a logo on my laptop. So it spiraled very quickly, and I went from baking 5 loaves of bread a week to baking 50 loaves within 3 months.
What? No way. Okay, so is this hyper local on the Nextdoor? I'm not too familiar with the app, or does it like stretch out? Are you sending these by mail?
So the Nextdoor app, it's a way to interact with your specific local community. So it's by neighborhood, basically. So when I sent that post out, it was truly, the people that lived in the block surrounding me that got that post first. And it really started there and then spread out. I have customers coming from different cities now, but it did really start in my little town in Aurora, in my neighborhood, which is such a sweet thought.
Little Pearl Breads and Bakes. What a great logo as well. So
thank you.
Take me through how you expanded then. Okay, so you initially were like, okay, I'm going to do this for my family. I'm going to do it for an entire year. Then you got all these orders. I noticed in one of those videos, it looks like you have like a special oven for the stuff. So at what point did you say, hey, oh my gosh, I've hit critical mass. I'm going to need to upgrade my kitchen?
Yes, there was a moment where I was baking. I had 20 loaves to bake in one day. And in my home oven, that took me 8 to 10 hours. And I realized that was not very practical. And so I kind of hit a point where I said to myself, I either need to fully send this and do the thing and do more and buy the equipment that I need, or I need to scale back and just be okay with this being a little bit of a side hustle. And I don't know how to do anything with much chill. So I hit send and we did it. And so, yes, I purchased my bread oven and I purchased my mixer, and it was a really scary jump to make. I was graciously able to borrow money from a family member, my sweet mom and dad, who helped me build this business, and I was actually able to completely pay them back in profits within the first 6 months of my business.
So cool.
So it was a really, nerve-wracking thing to say, okay, I'm going to spend $15,000 on this equipment, and I'm really going to do this. I'm fully in now.
Okay, so Macy, what would you say to those people who are watching who think, I want to do something, I'm not brave, I'm embarrassed, or I'm, I don't have confidence that I'll be successful with this, to get them their spark to get going on their own too, with whatever it is out there?
Yeah, I mean, it's so cliche, but it's so true that you don't know if you're going to succeed unless you try, you know? I think that one of the most exciting things in life is to do something that you don't fully know, jumping in and learning and taking chances has led to so much great success for me, my community coming around me, my church family coming around me and just cheering me on. It was so sweet to see the community come alongside me and really just want to see me thrive as well. So my encouragement, if you're wanting to try this, start small, but just go for it. Don't let fear hold you back. Don't let the concerns of what other people think about you hold you back. You're never going to know unless you try. And starting this bakery truly changed my life. You know, obviously I still am running my bakery, but so many other parts of my business have thrived. I've gained a massive following on social media. I recently signed a book deal to publish 3 books over the next 4 years. And all of that happened because I posted on the Nextdoor app and just decided to give it a try. So it truly has changed my life.
That's so inspiring. So you have 3 books coming out in the next few years then.
I do, yes. My first book is going to be a sourdough cookbook. It comes out in the fall of 2027. And then I'll also be releasing a sourdough-themed children's book the following year, and then a baking-related devotional, Christian devotional following year.
Unbelievable.
Oh, nice.
This is so cool. What does your business look like today then, a few years later? Is it brick and mortar? Do you have a storefront? Is it all out of your kitchen? You take orders online? Are you represented at, you know, little farmers markets and things like that? What does it look like?
Yeah, so the videos that you guys are seeing on the screen right now, that's actually in my house. There's my husband. So everything's in my house still. I do not have a brick and mortar and don't plan on opening one. I love being home with my children and we plan on homeschooling. We start kindergarten with my oldest in the fall. And but that my business has definitely changed over the years. I grew my business to a peak where I was baking every single week. I was selling around $2,000 in goods per week, all pre-order basis only. So people, I use something called the Simply Bread app, which is where I can set a menu and my customers can pre-order their goods ahead of time, and then I bake it all and they just come and pick it up from my house. I actually have a little greenhouse in my front yard where people can come and pick up their weekly orders. And so I grew that to its peak. And then as time has progressed, my business model has changed and social media has become a main source of my income and something that I really love doing. And so the bakery has scaled back as social media has grown. So at this point, I bake twice a month and I have multiple pickup locations now. So I have 3 different cities represented with my bread twice a month. And that's kind of the rhythm that I found.
It's a sourdough bread empire.
That's amazing.
It's an empire.
Well, I got to know then, before we let you go, what's the secret to a good sourdough loaf?
Ooh.
That is a really good question. The secret is understanding that sourdough is not just a recipe to follow, it's a skill that you learn. Lots of people feel like they just can't do it because they fail on their first try, but sourdough is a skill that you have to hone with practice. And my other tip would be to learn how to utilize dough temperature. If you are new to sourdough and you want to learn more about that, you can come and check out my website. I do share my recipe for free.
Beautiful.
Amazing.
So fun.
I'm so impressed. Macy Merlack, good luck to you. You're
Thank
doing
you so
amazing. Looking forward to seeing the books. You got to check back in with us when that first book comes out. We'd love to check it out.
Absolutely. I would love that. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. How impressive.
I got to follow her on Insta.
Yeah. That sounds like the pie chart of her income has shifted
She's
from
only
actually
cooking
doing
2
it.
times a month.
And now she's, you know, it's the social media, because once you achieve that kind of critical mass, you can make a lot of money.
Yeah, let's go.
One of those,
we have so many
sourdough
influencers.
bread, and think about all the niches that they kind of find. I mean, this is not just bread. It's not just baking. It's literally sourdough bread. Like the sourdough baking.
Yeah,
gets that specific.
And her little kitchen is so cute. She gets to stay home. She's got it. She's got it. She's doing something right.
15K too.
15K.
15K is what it costs to
buy the
mixer.
stuff.
And the oven, but that's
her husband for being like, let's go, let's do your bacon thing.
And that she was able to pay her folks back after 6 months for that. Like, their folks gave her kind of like a small business loan type thing. Sure. Awesome. All right. We have a trending story to get to when we come back. Best places to get married in 2026, and where Chicago and Illinois come in on that list, or do they? The answer coming up.
Welcome back. Just about 10:54. And for those of you who are thinking about getting married, tying the knot this year, let's find out where you should go to get married. So Wallet Hub just released a new survey that shares the top 5 places to get married in the United States. They came up with their list based on 26 key indicators of wedding friendliness, ranging from average wedding cost to venue and event space per capita to hotel availability. Okay, so let's get into it. Number 1, this is kind of surprising to me, Las Vegas.
Vegas.
Vegas, baby.
In and out.
Married?
They've got it down to a science there.
Yeah. You just go
Vegas,
straight to the, what, is it the Elvis?
Yeah.
The Elvis wedding venue?
Ye old wedding chapel.
Yeah. All right. Number 2, Orlando. I like that. But number 3 is Miami. So like Florida, I guess.
Florida, I mean, the southeast there. Look at that pocket. You got Orlando, Atlanta.
You can take a vacation
Miami.
whilst going to a wedding. So I understand that. And it's relatively affordable compared to going, you know, to Hawaii or something. Number 4 is Atlanta. Number 5 is Tampa. So we're talking about warm spots. So if you were wondering where Chicago falls on the list, we ranked 14 out of 182, which
not bad.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So we got a total score of 63.12. We ranked 113th for cost.
Yeah, that's not good.
We ranked 27th for facilities and services. And we ranked 9th for activities and attractions.
Yeah, that tracks.
A summer
it's not going to be
wedding
the
in
cheapest.
Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
I just spit everywhere, sorry. That would be the best. The best. Yeah.
All right, so there you go. Food for thought, everybody. All right, another Wallet Hub survey. Best places to celebrate Valentine's Day. And as we know, it's 10 days. Exactly. We decided that.
Yeah.
10 days away, everybody. So here we go with the Valentine's Day metrics. Number 1, San Francisco. Number 2, San Diego. Number 3, where is it? Oh, Vegas. Okay. It'll be a fun little outing. And then number 4, Atlanta. So Vegas and Atlanta really just dominating both these lists here. Let's see, Chicago, 13th. Okay, similar. And you know what? There is some overlap in terms of,
going warm.
Yeah, exactly. Budget, we rank 52. Activities, 7th. Gift accessibility, number 13. Weather forecast, Caitlin.
Well, I know.
66.
Nobody wants to come to Chicago in February.
Not in February.
Not to celebrate for
so,
Valentine's
there
Day.
you go.
Okay, we're talking about Sweethearts candy, which do you like the stuff? The chalky little treats?
Ooh, I used to like those. Not so much anymore.
Okay,
Not so much. How about you?
I'd eat it, maybe.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
sure. But they're coming out with practical messages on their candy hearts. Instead of the usual be mine type messages, you'll start seeing messages like split rent, carpool, buy in bulk, or cook for two.
Super romantic if you think about those.
Why are we doing this? Why?
It's like, it's romantic. There could be one combined finances. You know what I mean? It's an iteration of romance.
This is
it not?
rent. I feel like that's not very romantic. All right.
Well,
So,
it's hey, let's move in together.
The brand says, oh, I see.
You know what I mean?
3/4 of Americans are looking for cheaper date ideas, while 80% say the economy is shaping their Valentine's Day plan. So you'll still be able to see the classics like Cutie Pie and Marry Me, but Cook for Two is also going to be in that package of hearts.
I remember opening Little Valentines from, when I was in 3rd grade or something, and like really taking like if it was a girl that the Valentine came from, like really taking whatever random heart message I got, like super seriously. Not that it was just like pulled out of a bag and randomly put in mine like it was. I was like, ooh.
For Valentine's, for your
Be
boys,
mine.
can they like write names on the Valentines? Because mine was like, don't write names.
You can, but you have to, the rule is, everyone has to get one.
Yeah.
So their names are fine. Food is not allowed anymore. That's a thing of the past.
Yeah, I think
at least in
that's
our
the case in ours
district.
because of allergies and stuff.
Maybe allergies. Did peanut allergies just not exist when we were growing up?
My
Caitlin?
brother had peanut allergy.
Oh, that's right.
And my baby has a peanut allergy. It's really unfortunate. It's
That
kinda
is.
spooky.
Peanut butter's so good.
And I only knew it because I was giving him peanut butter when he was a baby, as they tell you to do. To expose them to the peanuts. I was just full spoons of peanuts because my other girls were not allergic, but he would get hives. He would get these hives that would pop up and then they would disappear. So we took him to an allergist. Turns out he's allergic to peanuts.
Man.
So it's not a made-up allergy.
Yeah.
But they say too, like with peanuts, for example, I know we gotta go, but it could be mild at first, like his reaction right now is fairly mild, but if he has an exposure in the future, it could actually blow up and be
really dangerous.
That's the word, anaphylactic. You get
shock. You have to have an EpiPen.
Handy.
Yeah.
So maybe that's
scary. That's scary.
Food out on Valentine's now. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, that was fun.
That was a really fun show.
Thank you for joining us. Gabby, Tia, they're waiting in the wings right here for another hour of Chicago Now, right after this.
11 o'clock hour of Chicago now.
I was like, wait, I don't hear anything.
You were? I was hearing something.
I hear everything now. It
Okay,
is
good.
Wednesday, hump day.
She has audio, people.
I think it's one of those things where, like, when you're getting close to vacation, that's all you think about. So, like, you don't hear anything, you don't see anything. It's like, I'm just tunnel vision to
Girl,
vacation.
you and I are in the same space right now because I was just talking about, I've had like a headache, I swear, like the last like 5 days straight. And I think it's the weather, it's not being able to sleep in. Like, I just need a break too. Next week, I'm out.
Yeah, it's
but
time to
it
get
does
up
look
out of here
beautiful.
for a little while.
I will say, it does
It
look
is.
really
I mean,
nice.
it's sweet home Chicago. You can't complain about that. Let's talk about what we have coming up on the show today. I didn't know this skirt was this little. My goodness.
Oh, I like it though.
Maybe
You
my
like
daughter's
nylon
skirt.
side?
After all. But anywho, let's talk about what we have coming up. The Southside Irish St. Patrick's Day Parade has announced its grand marshal, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. We're going to be talking to them and learning more about their organization. And is it possible not to notice the music that plays at some of your favorite restaurants? We're talking with the local company that is responsible for some of the music that you're hearing around town.
But sometimes when I'm going into a restaurant, I'm not even noticing the music. But I guess when I do notice it, I notice it. Does that make sense?
Because
like,
some places
it's got to be
too
on
loud. You can't even get on your phone. It's like you guys clearly don't want me to have any other conversations. You want me focused on what I'm buying.
I have questions about the lighting sometimes because even my young eyes, I would have to say, can't see what's on the menu. So I can't imagine some of our older folks or older diners. That's why they have trouble.
Maybe, and some of
that's another conversation. We're talking about
some of the older diners. But first, we got to talk about this. I'm sure you probably have heard it on 103.5 Kiss FM. Spread his show. He's joining us here in studio to share some of his favorite waiting by the phone segments. It is absolute. Every last one of them are funny.
It is so
really
entertaining. And I stopped you at Lori Children's because my photographer and I, we like mark it down. So we were listening to the Waiting by the Phone. We're so entertained by it.
So entertained.
Thank you for joining us. And we understand that, well, first of all, for people who don't know what Waiting by the Phone is, can you explain it?
Well, I thought I came on here to hear about your vacations. And then I'm going, wait a minute, you guys get vacations? That's crazy.
Yeah, because
hiring?
I hope so. You
guys have good benefits here?
You are the one who's always constantly working. I just compared you to Ryan Seacrest. You're always somewhere.
Oh, wow.
Fred.
Yeah, I'm much poorer than he is. No, so Waiting by the Phone, we do it every day. We've done it for 15 years on the show. And, you know, anyone who's dated, I think you guys are married or engaged or whatever.
Yep.
Anyone who's dated knows it's a rat race out there with the dating apps and all the rest of it, and it's a numbers game. So people go on these dates and they think it went well, and then they don't hear from the person they went out with. They got ghosted. They want to know why they've been ghosted, and that's where we are performing a public service, and we call these people and we get to the bottom of why they didn't get a call back.
My goodness, that has to be crazy to hear some of these stories. I'm just curious because you've heard so many of these stories now. What is one that sticks out most in your mind, and why?
Oh gosh, we've probably done thousands. I mean, there was the cocaine deal on a first date in a Target parking lot. Can I say that?
The person, and the person admitted it.
Say anything but the F word.
Yeah.
The person admitted that they did this.
Yeah. Well, the person who was on the date who didn't call the woman back, it was a woman. And so then she's like, I don't understand why I didn't get another date. So we call this man, and he then tells this harrowing story about this drug deal he was a part of in the parking lot of a Target on their way to dinner. So she wanted to stop off for something, and he thought he was doing a nice thing. Yeah, I mean, what was it? Yesterday was a guy.
I was going to say yesterday was crazy.
He took feverish notes on the date. Every single, that was today's. Yesterday's was a guy who took a woman, wasn't that the vacation
to New Orleans,
on vacation, and then things didn't go his way. You know, he didn't get what he was aspiring for on the trip, and then he was upset about it because he paid for it. And apparently that's an accepted practice, which I don't agree with.
I've heard that lately.
Yeah, he was wanting something a little extra.
Flies you out. You're supposed to, you know, give them a gift.
But aren't you glad, like on your worst day being married, aren't you so happy when you hear these things?
Well, my question for that was like, why not just get an escort? You know, like if you're going to.
Wow.
Well, that's illegal.
Okay. Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true. I should have.
Have you been?
This is a spicy show, y'all.
Very spicy.
11 o'clock.
This is not Vegas,
okay,
by the
forgive
way.
me. But it was New Orleans. I don't know the rules there. Also, I am not. No, I'm not condoning that at all.
Wow.
Okay, all right.
That was my takeaway. Is
switching subjects.
If you're tired of being ghosted, then just hire somebody.
Okay,
Which some people do it.
I love these
all right, guys, that was my bad. That was my bad.
Closed doors.
This is great.
That was my bad.
I've done so many stories on prostitution stings, and clearly she missed every last one.
Wow. Yeah, you're not supposed to do that.
guys. I don't want to say it. I'm getting hot now.
Who came up with this idea of waiting by the phone? What was it? Because, you know, a lot of different radio shows and hosts, they have their own thing. You know, Steve Harvey, I think it's the Strawberry Letter or something like that.
Right.
How did you find yourself with this waiting by the phone? And have you thought about launching it as its own kind of thing?
Well, I thought about a coffee table book. And I'm being very serious with these stories and maybe some form of illustration or something. Not like a children's book.
Yeah.
A little mature. But if I did, I'd have you help me with the story because
let her be the voice for it, the audio book.
Do you have children of your own?
Let me sit on ice for a little bit. Let me sit on ice and let me
know what you teach them.
let me just regroup.
I'm not going to lie to you.
I'm self-reflecting here, okay? I'm self-reflecting.
This is not a new concept doing this. I mean, there are different shows that do it different ways across the country. We just decided a bunch of years ago that we thought we could do it better. So, and so we do. And we have to use a lot of different methods to tell these stories. But the question I get all the time is, are these true stories? And they did happen to someone. Yes, they did. They are true stories. Because some of this stuff, I don't know that I'm creative enough to make it up. And I've been single my whole life. Like, I'm terrible to go on a date with. Like, nobody's trying to, like, it's awful. There's 100 stories about how bad I am to go on a date with. But I am like I'm a Prince Charming compared to these people.
And do you feel like, you know, after hearing some of these stories, you are happy? Because I'm sure you've heard so many now, like you said, thousands. Are you happy to be in the single pool and not, or are you dating? Are you open to possibly
open to
date?
what?
To
I mean,
date.
the nature of this show, I don't know what you're talking about. You could be talking about anything. Am I open to what? Who's asking? No, look, I play the game just like everybody else, but I'm in my 40s and I've never been divorced. I skipped my first divorce, I guess. So I don't know. Maybe there's somebody out there. Maybe there's somebody out there in TV land watching right now that'd like to go out with the guy in the turtleneck. I wore my best turtleneck for this.
And they're just smitten.
You're giving Bill Cosby.
Wait,
Wait, what?
You got
Don't
Joe.
ever say that.
Should we start over?
Bill Cosby?
With the, you know, that was his thing. The sweater.
His thing was putting things in people's drinks and taking advantage of them. Isn't he in?
I'm talking about the
jail.
look. The look is.
Why did I come on this thing?
And this is
what
live.
What are we doing here? I come in here, we got one person talking about prostitution, we got another person talking about Bill Cosby. I knew I shouldn't have worn the turtleneck. Honestly,
you
I'm
are
a radio
really funny.
DJ. I should wear what I wore every day. I tried to dress up for you guys.
I was actually going to compliment you on your outfit.
I love the
so
shoes.
we didn't have
Makes
a
me
chance.
look like Bill Cosby. Anyone else? Jeffrey Epstein? You want to talk about him?
I'm sorry.
What else
You are really funny. Do you?
What on earth?
Have you ever done stand-up?
No.
Okay, because seriously.
You should.
No, you guys are funny. I'm just along for the ride, honestly.
Wait, okay, so I have a question.
This is great. This is the best 10 minutes of my day.
I have a question because these stories are so crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, every day I think it doesn't get better than this, but yeah, it does the next day. Do you guys go through inquiries? What's the deal with picking and choosing these people, or is it
People DM us. They go on our website. They tell us stories. We do record them ahead of time because it would be sort of lame if people don't answer and then okay, well, sorry, we'll try another one another day. But yeah. I mean, these stories are everywhere, and we love to tell them. Every morning.
And I love how everybody on your show, all the players on your show are totally into it. Kiki, totally into it. It's so fun to know that everybody's kind of enjoying.
And people have different perspective, which I like too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are 17 people on our show, and everybody comes from a different life group, different background, different perspective. So we have a really good time.
I also love how essentially every time you call someone up, you kind of forget to say oh, by the way, you are on the radio.
I'm so forgetful. I always forget to say that someone's listening.
And it's like what?
Yeah. Oh well. But yeah, we have a really good time with it. They're all, if people have never heard this before, it's on the iHeartRadio app. You can type in the Fred Show on demand, and you can get to it that way. There are thousands of them though, and we've heard a lot of things, you guys.
I'm sure you have. Probably nothing can be compared to what Gabby had to say while sitting in that chair. But I do want to ask you. You said one of the things.
I want to know what's on these cards. I mean, what kind of material?
Nothing about prostitution.
What did they write on there? Call the guy Bill Cosby when he's gone. I mean, funny thing is, I thought I was banned from this place.
Look. I'm so
What is?
sorry.
You know what?
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I am responsible.
Like, why would? I thought I was banned from coming on here. I haven't been asked to come on Fox in 30 years. I think this is the beginning of a wonderful partnership.
Yeah, we gotta have you back on a regular
this
basis.
is so exciting.
So
I think they fired all the people that said I couldn't come on.
Okay,
Perfect.
good. So we don't have to deal with them
We don't have to
anymore.
worry about them.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, because you said that you're really, really busy, you're doing so many things. Tell us, like, aside from obviously your show, what else you have going
Well,
on?
I don't know why you think I'm so busy, but no, we do the morning radio show, and then we're on in 7 cities, so there's some travel that comes with that. But obviously, this is our home, and this is where we've been for 16 years. And then